Hi, I'm Don, and this is the Hobbyist Geek. And today we are doing issue 84 of our R2 build, and we have a whole bunch of stuff here, including what looks like another motor. So let me go ahead and get this open and see what we got. And here are the parts we get with this issue, and what a load of parts this is! We got the upper and lower arms, we have the left and right pivot mounts, we have the motor cover base and top, we got a double crank, a single crank, a clutch lever, a short and long control rod, we got a couple of pivots, we got the clutch back plate, the clutch itself, the clutch pressure plate, a whole bunch of pivot pins, and the motor. It is important to note these are labeled left and right, so it's very, very hard to see, but this stuff is labeled. I don't know if I can get this to come up on camera. I really don't. It's right in here. This one is the left, and this is the right, and the same goes for these, so be very careful about which ones go where when you're assembling this. Alright, first up we're going to take the upper arm, and if you look in here it says LBP50. So that's how you know you have the right one. You take one of these pivots here, and if you take a look, there's a side that's got 3 slots on it. This one only has 1. Put this in so that it slides in just like this and stops it from going any further at this point. Then we're going to take the double crank here, and we're going to attach the double crank to this, and you can see there's a slot here. That's where that tab is going to go, just like this. And then we're going to take a 6mm screw and throw it in right there. Alright, look at that. It should be nice and solid, no wiggling at all. We're going to repeat that process for the lower arm here. Now, what's really interesting is in the instructions this says it is part BP42. However, if you take a look, it says BP51. It also says R for the right side, so that's how you'll know you have the right one. And again, pivot, slide it in on the side that's got 3 slots, and wiggle it around so that it goes all the way through just like that. And now we take the single crank, slide that in place just like this, and one more 6mm screw to hold it in place. And it should look like that when you're done. Next up, we're going to assemble the clutch. So we're going to take the clutch base here and the clutch itself, and we're going to just slide this thing in. It should go in flush, just like this. Now, according to the instructions, this does not need to be aligned any particular way because it will be aligned later. I'm going to take the cover, put that over just like this, and take 2 more of the 6mm screws. These are the 2mm wide ones, this time the thin ones compared to the ones we've been using. And that'll go on either side to hold it in place. Alright, look at that. Alright, to assemble the clutch linkage, we're going to take the clutch itself, we're going to take the lever here, I'm just going to slide it on top, and you can see it is keyed, and then it'll just slide on one way. We're going to take another 6mm screw, we're back to the 2.3mm wide ones, and put that right through the top. Alright, and with that in place, we're going to take 2 of these little clutch spindle things, and we're going to put one in either side, and just push it in from the top. Should go all the way through. Alright, and with that in that way, you can take the control rods. It doesn't matter which side goes which because we're going to align it all later, but that will go right in there, and the other one will go on the other side. Alright, look at that. Next up, we're going to assemble the arms to the clutch assembly here, and I'm going to start with the right side. This is the lower arm, the one with the single gear here, and this is the longer control rod. It's important that you get this right. I have seen online where people are having difficulties because they flipped which control rod goes where. But with the longer control rod, you'll take one of these pivots and push it in right through the top. And with that through, we'll just attach it to the arm like so. And we've got one arm done. Now we're going to do the same thing for the upper arm. However, the pivot goes through the double crank here before going through the arm. All right, and this is what it should look like when all is said and done. All right, next up we're going to fit the arms to the center panel here. And we're going to start by fitting the arms through these holes, just like so, and this one as well. We're going to push this all the way in, and if you take a look, there's a little slot here and another one over here. So what we're going to want to do is slide this in all the way until this can fit into that slot. And with all that in place, well, it says adjust the arms to center the clutch. I'm guessing it means something like this to get it centered properly. But that is it for that stage. And then we're going to want to go ahead and take the pivot mounts, and we want to put those in place. So the left pivot mount should go on top, just like this. Excuse me. Just like this. And it should slide right into place without any problem. And we're going to attach it with 2 more of the 6mm screws. And now we'll do the same thing over here with the right pivot mount. All right, and look at that. Next up, we want to fit the motor into its housing. So we're going to take the base here, and you can see there's 3 holes, 2 for screws. The center one is for this post here, and it looks like it goes in this way. Oh, no, this way, because there's no writing. Should slide in just like this, and then we're going to use the smaller silver countersunk screws that look like this to hold it in place. All right, and with that in place, we can attach this. You take a look, there's a little arrow on one side that's going to face towards the post, so we'll slide it in just like this. And we've got 6 of the 6mm screws to hold it in place. All right, it should look like that when you are done. All right, next up, I'm going to bring this in. We'll try to make sure this clutch is seated on the bracket properly. We're going to fit this in. It is keyed. It is a half moon on the post. Get that in and lined up proper like, just like this. All right, and all of these posts should slide right in, and it should be lined up just like this when you're done, and 4 more screws to hold it in place. All right, now it's time for the moment of truth. We get to test it out. Okay, here we go. With this testing assembly, as we've had in the past, the motor is going to plug in right here. And we will turn on the kit. Ah, look at that. That is just awesome. And there we go, another day, another stage completed, and this one was just incredible. I mean, I love these moving arms here. This is just awesome. I can't get more excited. I can't wait to get to the next stage. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.